This is Chapter 6, Case Study, Can We Trust Big Data? Question 613. What business benefits did the companies and services described in this case achieve by analyzing and using big data? Spotify was able to offer personalized music streaming services based on past likes and listening behavior of their users. Skyscanner used predictive algorithms to find the best airline deals by analyzing data from travel agencies and airlines. Healthcare, they compiled data from various medical companies to find effective and cheap treatment options for customers. They can also use this data to predict the spread of diseases. Banks, they use big data to identify issues with their trading systems. Boston Street Bump, which is a mobile app, they use big data to map road conditions using accelerometers in their users' phones. Question 614. Identify two decisions at the organizations described in this case that were improved by using big data, and two decisions that were not improved by using big data. For decisions that were improved, Spotify, they were successfully provided more personalized music content using data that they collected from their customers. Healthcare, using big data, they could save up to $300 billion to find the most effective and cheapest treatment options. And decisions that were not improved, Boston Street Bump, they did use the data from their users' phones, but the conditions for roads, but the results had systematic bias. And the CDC, they use Google prediction for flu rates, but they significantly overestimated. This was because Google prediction was based on web results, but did not take into consideration the context of those results. 615. List and describe the limitations to using big data. Not knowing what to do with the data. Organizations are interested in big data, but they end up spending a lot of money on a lot of data that they can't or don't know how to effectively generate meaningful information from. Upfront asset costs. Big data requires the deployment of assets to process effectively at a fast pace. These assets require upfront investment before any profit can be made using the data. Security. Big data systems need to be secure to prevent the breach of privacy for their users. Question 616. Should all organizations try to analyze big data? Why or why not? What people, organization, and technology issues should be addressed before a company decides to work with big data? Any organizations can benefit from big data, but they need to be prepared. They must first identify what their intent or objective of using big data is. Next, they need to make sure that they have the capital to invest in assets to process the data effectively. Organizations also need to have the human resources who can effectively process the data to generate meaningful information. Finally, they must ensure the data will be secure to prevent customers' personal information from being breached. Conclusion: big data can benefit any organization if they are equipped to handle it. They need to have clear intent with the data, enough capital for data processing assets, human resources to generate meaningful information, and be able to properly secure the data. Organizations such as Spotify and Skyscanner from this case study show us examples of successfully using big data. These are more recent sources on big data.